Welcome. I'm going to talk about plowing with an 8N tractor. I recently bought a RK37 HC, and I'll be making more videos about that. But initially, I am moving a log with the RK37 because I'm going to be plowing that area to make a small garden. It's my first garden, and we will see how it works out this summer. But right now I want to use the 8N to do a bit of plowing. The loader and forks are a lot easier to use for moving something like this than hooking up a chain and dragging it. The RK gets to move the log, and then the 8N is going to do the plowing. Garden is going to be on a slight hill, and that log is about 20 feet long, and it's going to form the bottom of a small terrace. The 8N is quite capable, but controlling the plow for such a short run is a challenge. So the first pass was to go ahead and kind of gauge or gauge the depth of the plow setting. The tractor has plenty of power. I think it could probably use a little tune-up. I hear some backfiring or something. I'm afraid to touch the carburetor. So it really could use somebody who is a little braver mechanically. But it still has plenty of power to do what I've been doing with it, which is bush hogging that hill and things like this plowing. Notice how wide the wheels are set. It really helps with the stability when you're looking at crossing a hill that's about 15 degrees. I plow across the hill, and the main danger is that when you hit a real bad bump, that seat is very springy, so you end up with your butt in the air, holding onto the steering wheel, hoping not to come off the tractor. There's no seat belts and there's no roll bar. The width of the wheels does help with the stability, so the tractor doesn't dip. It's just the rider that could get thrown off down the hill. So I picked up a big blob of dirt, and it's a lot bigger than it looks on the picture. And part of the challenge with this thing is you can see it's really digging in, and it's doing a great job when it's got traction, but raising and lowering the plow at just the right time to do a short run like this is a real challenge. Also, if you do what I did, which is let the plow really pick up large chunks, dig in real deep, then it creates a really deep groove in the ground. Here I let the plow just above contact point, trying to hook that big clod of dirt. Missed it, had to back up and realign for the actual plowing run. That plow is really in there right now. And the whole garden is only like 20 feet by maybe 7 feet wide. Turning radius on this thing, despite the wide stance, is really excellent. And I'm not even using the left and right brakes, which actually will stop a wheel and let the thing turn on a dime. And you can see how deep the plowing has been just by how deep the wheels are sinking in, because right now I'm in the middle of that plowed area. It only took a few passes to actually plow the width of the area that I wanted, and I'm just going back and trying to break up some of the clumps. Learning a little clutch control would probably be good. And again, as I'm coming out of the plowed area, I'm lifting the plow, but I don't quite have the hang of dropping it at just the right time. That rear wheel just went over that clump that I pulled up earlier. You could see the tractor tilt from how big it is. And the tractor has plenty of power. It's spinning the wheel, but it's digging itself in, so I didn't let it spin a long time. The wheels are not weighted, but I don't think it would have made a difference. The back end of the tractor is still sunk in. So I had to pause, lift the plow just a little bit, get it unhooked from whatever it was hooked on. There's a lot of big roots and rocks in this ground. Getting everything adjusted again, number of levers to deal with. I had to go back over that with a blade later on to smooth that out a little bit. That clump of dirt is kind of in the way. Missed it again. So to raise and lower the blade or the implements, you actually have to put the tractor into neutral or be moving with the clutch up. The clutch has to be engaged, and when you disengage the clutch to stop, you have to put it into neutral, re-engage the clutch, raise and lower the implement. That's one of the things about having an old tractor. It has to have that PTO turning for the 3-point to lift and lower. Actually, to lift. Lowering happens automatically from gravity. And there is a little bit of tilt to this hill. So I'm actually holding on with my right hand to the fender. It just makes life a little bit safer and easier to hold on to the uphill fender. So I'm trying to break up some of the clods in there and plow even deeper. I have it a little bit too deep, and now I'm driving through loose dirt, so that makes it a little difficult to get traction. Got to get the depth adjusted just right and get the clutch released just right. You can see from the wheels disappearing how deep some of that plowing area is. And that's what the garden looked like a few weeks later. And then the deer and the woodchucks and the bugs got to it, and it's a little bit sparser now.